accountancy?
One of the other risks that we've had to deal with is the requirements of the legislation of transfer undertaking of staff from the employment with the local authority to our employment, because we wanted to make a commitment that their conditions in terms of service would not change for the worse. We'd like them to be better, but we can't afford them to be better right now. But that, of course, included their membership of the local government pension scheme. And we were for some time very concerned that we would have a risk to deal with, which we would have to take a bond out against, we would have to take indemnity out against, to protect us in case of death in service, and then we would be all sorts of issues like that. We went round and round the houses in fog for about a month, until one of our number finally managed to get clarity, and the advice that the local authority had been given, the advice that the actuaries had provided, that various lawyers for free had provided, was all wrong. And that in point of fact, there was no risk to us at all, but it was a risk that we perceived. But then we realised there was one risk in there that we needed to cover, and that was it's an insurance policy called this wrongly, it's called key man insurance. And what it means is that, say the director was to fall under a bus and die, unless we had insurance for that event, specifically to replace that person on a temporary basis, to re-advertise, to do all those things, we would be in an impossible situation because we're a tiny organisation. Those sort of staffing risks are fundamental, because you also need to be able to develop a set of protocols and policies which don't only meet your legal requirements, but also create the sort of working environment and an environment of respect between people and two employees that is propitious to working well together. So the risk is to be blasé and to think it's all simple, and that you don't have to take infinite care about making sure all the detail is right and in place, but to make sure that you don't get yourself into a quagmire because you've got the wrong advice.